Hey YouTubers! So today I'm just going to do a review on a new product that I got, and it's the Faux Tan by Escentuals. And I ended up getting a really nice big bottle. This is a 16 ounce. It came with a pump as well as a body buffing brush. And let me tell you, this little guy is an amazing little invention. It's a really soft kind of kabuki brush, and you use this to buff in the bronzer all over your body or your face. So right now, I know with the camera lighting, I do look a little bit Oompa Loompa-ish, but got a lot of compliments yesterday. Everyone thought I was really dark. They thought I just got back from Mexico. So it is a very nice bronze color, and it's not orange at all right now. I wanted to do before and after pictures to show the difference kind of gradually over time. Canada Post was on a strike. My package was delayed by like 2 weeks, and I received it yesterday, so I was so excited to get it. I just kind of ran upstairs and I started buffing on the bronzer. So I only left one arm untouched with this bronzer, so hopefully you can see in this kind of lighting. But this is the difference here. So I'm pretty sure you can tell a difference as to which arm was bronzed and which one wasn't. So obviously this lighter one is my natural skin right now, and I'm still quite dark compared to a lot of other people, so I'm actually glad that you can see the difference. And this is the one that I bronzed. So I mean, there is quite a huge difference. So this is kind of what it looks like side by side. And that was just one application, so I'm not going to do another one because with this self-tanner, it's great because you can actually see where you're putting the bronzer on. I really like it because if you want a quick instant tan, this is perfect. So I'm going to let this sit on my skin for a couple of days and I'll report back to let you know what it's like and if it's worth it to splurge on this. It's one of the best tanners from what I hear. I've read so many good reviews on it, so I'm really excited to test this out and show you guys. So I'll do a quick swatch for you what this looks like coming out of the bottle. So you really don't have to squeeze very hard on. I'm just going to put a little bit on. You can tell that it comes out very dark in the bottle. Obviously, once it's rubbed in, it's not that dark, but it is quite a bit more pigmented than most. So this is kind of what it looks like rubbed in. So once you rub it in, you can tell there's a difference, but it's not like a huge difference if you're darker skinned anyways. So that's what it looks like. I'll blend it in. You can see the edge of where it's blended and where it's not. And the body buffing brush does a great job of blending it. Just take it, it's a nice little kabuki brush, blend it in, and you can't even see the line anymore. With this camera lighting, you can't tell the difference, but when I'm looking at it right now, you can tell just a slight difference where I've put the color and where I haven't. So the directions basically say to use the brush. You can also see where you're applying on your body, so you're not going to get any streaks or miss a spot. The body buffing brush is amazing for this, and I can't actually imagine using anything else but it now. But I am going to show you right now what the process is to buff it in, because I haven't done this arm yet, and it probably looks really weird, and I'm wearing short sleeves today. I'm going to do it right now. I'm just going to roll up my sleeve. I've pretty much done everything except for my entire arm. So with the pump it comes with, it's a lot easier. Not that I know anything different, but I'm just going to pump a little bit out at a time onto my brush. So you can kind of see that there, just a little globby. And you'll notice that it does go on really dark at first, but it does lighten up as you buff it out. So I just kind of put a little few dots, so that does look really dark. So you can see the difference, you can see where you're applying, and you don't want to leave any lines like that, so I would recommend buffing it out completely. And I just use, I don't know how you're supposed to use the brush, but I buff it out in circles instead of just going up and down, because I think that could cause more streaking. So there aren't any visible lines, and it kind of blends in. It just gives it a really sun-kissed glow right now. The smell's not bad. I can't really describe it. It's better than other self-tanners that I've used, like Oil of Olay and Jergens and Aveeno. It's a bit fruitier, but you can still smell that DHA, and that is the key ingredient that all self-tanners use. So I'm going to keep just dispensing a little globby, and I'm going to work my way down. So again, just take it and buff it all around. I know you don't really tan on the inside of your arms, they're usually a bit lighter, but I'm going to put a full amount anyways. And with this tanner, not only do you get to see where you're putting it, but I mean with all of them, if you're not sure if you've applied on one area, you'll be able to tell also that you haven't applied because it's going to be dry. Anywhere else that you've applied it, it's going to be a little bit tackier, so that's kind of one way as well. So show you, this is how much I'm pumping out. And I'm going to go under my arm now. So for lighter spots, I'm not going to go over my armpit, but use just the excess amount that's on the brush and gently brush it over. So that way you don't have like a really big dramatic difference between color. A little bit more. So I've gone up to my elbow, and you can kind of see the difference already. Kind of. No. Sorta. Not really. So let's see. And along the elbow, actually, I'm not going to buff in the full amount of color again, just because the creases in your body tend to pick up color a little bit more, and I think it's going to look a little bit dirty. So I'm just going to go around the elbow, and so you can see that color difference. You can definitely see the color difference there since I haven't applied any to the elbow. I'm not going to take a full amount. Again, I'm just going to use what's on the brush, and I'm going to buff it out. I'm sure this is really fascinating watching me buff this on, but you've already tuned in this far, so why not watch the rest? So you can tell that I've buffed that out now. It's not too bad. A little bit more, and I'm just going to finish off the rest of my arm, even going over my tattoo. So with the top of my hand, usually that doesn't get quite so dark, so again, I'm just going to take the excess that's on the brush, I'm going to lay out my hand like this, and just buff all around. So just kind of mimic where the sun's going to hit. It's not going to hit the bottom of your hand. And just kind of get around on the sides gently. I'm going to sweep down the sides just to blend it out a little bit. Same with the wrist. If you're a little bit paranoid like me, go ahead and try to buff everything out. Make sure there aren't any other lines. Yeah, it's kind of a weird, plasticky, fruity smell. So that is my other arm. That was really easy. I think for a full body application it must have taken me near an hour because I did absolutely everywhere, including my face, and I'm proud to say that I have not broken out from it. It's been 2 days like I mentioned. There's no bumps or anything like that, so yay for that. So now this was the arm that I just buffed out with a bronzer. So it's not quite as white as it was before. Not that it was really white before, but it was lighter. In real lighting I can tell the payoff is pretty immediate, but it is going to start developing over about an hour or 2 hours time. I noticed that when I first put it on, I was pretty good color, and then it started developing a bit more, and then I was almost like a bronze statue, but it did start to fade just a little bit the next day. You're supposed to have this luminous glow, and I did notice the next morning that I didn't have to apply as much foundation, or at least any more tan foundation, just to bring out the color in my face. So that was a definite plus. So now on to showing you what the color result is like after 7 days with only one application. Alright, so this is about 8 days after my first application of the Faux Tan, and as you can tell, I am a little bit lighter. I'm not quite as white as I used to be. And I'll post before and after pictures just after this, maybe like 1 or 2, just to show the comparison. And I do still look a little bit tan, but that's just because I guess the natural effects of the sun and the summer weather. But what I wanted to say about this Faux Tan, it does gradually and very naturally fade off your body. You really can't tell that it's gone until it's actually gone. It doesn't do that weird thing because I've had spray tans before, and as it fades out, kind of on the elbow areas and all over the creases, it gets really blotchy and flaky. So it basically looks like you're really dirty. It kind of looks like you fell into the mud, brushed it off, but didn't actually wash your body. So the Faux Tan doesn't do that, and as I said, you can't tell it's gone until it's actually faded out and gone. I know that sounds really weird, but you just won't notice that you're bronze anymore. So for my application, I've done 1 full body application and 2 face applications. and one full body application on my husband, and we both loved it so much because it's just such a nice natural glow. It's not orange at all, and in my opinion, it actually looks better than the natural tan that you would get with the sun, only without the damaging UV effects. So as I said, the Faux Tan basically takes about 7 days, depending on how much you moisturize and exfoliate your body, I guess. But it does take about a week to fade, and that's the only downside of it. Because if you're going to do full body applications, you're going to run through that 16-ounce bottle really quickly. But if you only plan on doing, say, face applications just kind of on the top of your shoulders just to blend in that color, the bottle's going to last you well over a year. So in my opinion, the amount that I paid for this was very worth it. I bought it on eBay, and including the 16-ounce with the pump and the brush, including shipping, taxes, and Canadian conversion, came out to $60 Canadian for me. And that does seem very expensive, but in my opinion, it's totally worth it. I would definitely repurchase this once I get low. Now, they do have the 4-ounce size. I was overzealous and got the 16-ounce size. 4-ounce size is going to run out really quickly, again, if you want to try out a full body application or two. But if you're sticking strictly to the face, then 4-ounce might be the best way to go. And I think that's about $25. So anyways, as I mentioned, I did 2 face applications, and the reason why I did that is because after my first application, I let it sit and dry, and when I took off my makeup, I used the Olay Pro X cleansing brush plus an exfoliating cleanser to take off my makeup. So after I did that, foolishly, all the color had faded from my face. I put on my moisturizer, and my face was a completely different pale color compared to the rest of my body. And since this bronzer, I think, is only sitting kind of topically on your face, that's why my exfoliator took all the color off. So what I kind of did to combat that after I applied the bronzer again was use an oil-based cleanser. I put that all over my face, washed off, and put on my moisturizer. I wasn't quite as bronzed as the rest of my body, but I still did have quite a bit of nice color there. So all in all, to make your application last longer, I would definitely recommend staying away from exfoliating your skin once you've applied. Let it sit for a good day or so. Really don't have a bath afterwards, and moisturize your body a lot just so the skin keeps moisturizing and it's not going to get flaky or exfoliate itself and kind of exfoliate the color off. With all of this said, I can make a recommendation for fair skinned people. As you noticed, when I put on the bronzer, I just used a full pump of bronzer, brushed it on, and the results were really, really dark, even on my skin. So if you are fair skinned, I think that might look a little bit more fake, especially if you're going from one day you're really, really fair to the next day you're super, super bronze. Now, I haven't actually experimented with this, and this is kind of all in my brain, but I think that if you take 1 pump of bronzer and 1 pump of your favorite moisturizer onto your brush, buff that into your skin, test area on your arm first, let that develop for about 2 hours, and if the color for some reason is very streaky or it's too dark or it's too light, just immediately wash that off, exfoliate your skin, and then put on a layer of moisturizer. And after that all dries, try the application process all over again until you get a color that you're really in love with. So again, I haven't actually tried that. It just feels like it would be less pigmented than a full application, than just a full pump on the brush. But yeah, if you do decide to do that, let me know how it works. So anyways, all in all, give the Bare Escentuals Faux Tan 2 big thumbs up. I absolutely love it, and I would definitely purchase this again. So anyways, if you guys have any questions, feel free to comment in the box below. Otherwise, feel free to send me a private message, comment, rate, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And I want to thank you guys so much for watching this, and I will talk to you in my next video. See ya!